Hi, so I'm in the studio. It's Valentine's Day. Valentine! Anyway, just another day, right? But what I want to talk about, what's arising as I'm creating, is a few pieces that go together. It's about this acceptance piece and the rejection. Because we all know we've been rejected at one point in our lives, whether it's by another person, or someone doesn't like our artwork, or somebody just kind of leaves you in the dust. All these things can happen to us, right? And, but how do we, like, turn it around and get back and not like take it personal? And depending on how much of our feelings are intermixed in all this stuff, we can really, and if we're sensitive, we can really take it to heart, right? Because, well, and when it's our art, it's like the thing we love, and trying to stand beside it and say, this is me. That's like wearing your heart on your sleeve. And then if you're extra sensitive or like shy, it's harder to come out and be with the work, right? I mean, I'm speaking from experience. And then in regards to like relationship, it's hard to like feel the sting of, that rejection. And so rejection happens in all kinds of forms, but I think what ultimately I'm getting at is like, how do we turn it back to ourselves and go into the acceptance piece? And like kind of start separating all these things, like, not everyone's gonna like the art, or it's not always gonna work out the way we thought. But when it hurts, it really hurts, right? I know this is a weird topic, talking about on Valentine's Day, rejection, right? But it's also like the hidden taboo, the things we don't talk about, the things that get like stuffed underneath everything that can really take us out. And sometimes it's that personal rejection that like blocks us from moving into the creative work. Or like if we have a huge setback, like I did a few years ago, the last few years, but I couldn't like find myself because I really took on that other person's thing, and that was just not cool. But learning to separate it out is a big part of the process, not just in art but in life, and realizing that you still have the right to your creative expression, your creative voice, and the directions you want to take in life. And it's all about like kind of learning to shut that out and like let it go away, let it fall away if it's not gonna serve you, or you can't get an answer from someone who won't give you one, right? And you can't expect everyone to love your maybe colorful, bright, crazy artwork, or even love you, right? But it comes back to like loving ourselves, right? And loving our creations, and keep working on honing that voice. The external voice speaking, getting stronger through the pain of it all, which isn't always a good like adage to say, but there is some truth to what doesn't kill us will make us stronger, when we can get the right support in place and try to move on from where we are. And we can't make it be what it isn't. We can only work with what we have, right? And then with the knowledge that we have and the information that we have, and move forward accordingly for ourselves. Because nobody's coming to make our art, and nobody's coming to save us, right? Like, ultimately, it's up to us to get back in the game of art and life, and find that inner spark and keep creating. So how do we deal with rejection? Well, we have to like feel the feelings of it, for one. Sometimes in regards to artwork, we may be at the beginning stage and it's just not connecting, or it's not as strong as it could be, right? It doesn't mean it's bad. It just could always be stronger. And that's what we're trying to do here in our art practice, in our creative work, is to stay in it so we can get stronger in the process. And with the technical abilities, with the intuition, it's kind of all working together. And then how do we deal with it in life? Well, you have to feel the pain of it and let it be. You have to grieve the loss. But grief is weird because you can be fine one day and then not fine the next. So it's learning how to work with all of that. But the thing about the emotional aspect of living, well, we can really apply it into the artwork if we're kind of in the realm of intuitive, abstract, automatic, expressive, emotional work. Not like you want to have those rejections in life or those hard times. Who wants that, really? But we can kind of take it and maybe make it something else, right? Maybe there's a different way. There's a open-ended statement I have hanging up, as in, sometimes we get locked up into thinking there's only this one way, and then we forget all the possibilities around us, not just in art but in life. So what's important is to consider these open-ended statements and questions, and we can really start taking ourselves somewhere. It doesn't mean it's always easy. No, believe me. I know that. And it doesn't mean it's always, hard. It's kind of learning how to balance it all, right? Just like the weather is a good example. A crazy storm or a bright sunny day, and it's always changing. So are we, and so is life, and we can't always control the outcomes of what happens to us, but we can learn to navigate it and stay in our creative practice and our practice, so we get more comfortable each time we kind of get rejected for something. We can kind of come back from it and keep going through it, and then find the right support where people, are going to understand, because if you're an artist, a lot of people don't understand that. No. I don't even understand it, but, it's a very specific track to take, especially if you're staying in it and staying committed, and, you have to find the support, and you have to, give yourself, by yourself, that internal space. That deep surrendering, that this is my art, right? This is what I meant to do. These are the things I love so much that I can't live without, in regards to what we want to put into the work. So those are your non-negotiables, right, for yourself. So you hold that close to your heart, but when it comes to share it and show it and be in the world, that's a scary part, especially if you have been shy, shut down, and sensitive, like I have most of my life. It's harder maybe to get out there because it's there's an extra pressure, or maybe you're introverted, or you don't think you have the right words to speak. A lot of the time we don't think we do, when we really all have everything we need. It's just a matter of cultivating it and growing towards it more and more and more, right? So taking those tiny steps out, even when you're scared, and being willing to risk, not just in art but in life, though. And there's consequences, right? And that sometimes we ruin a painting or it doesn't work out, but we can always start again, from where we are, if we want to, especially in regards to creative work, right? We're not tied to one thing, and we don't have to be, so we can use the rejection as an opportunity for growth And they say every rejection is just a redirection, but that, when it hurts really bad, that's not going to be enough to hear. Because sometimes the pain is just like heavier than the, like that platitude. But like when you're kind of over a mountain and a little bit past it, and it's not like grabbing at you as much, maybe there'll be like some space in between, and you can like become the witness to what that meant at that time. But maybe there'll never be an answer, so it's learning how to like live with the unknown, not just an urban life, and just keep trusting yourself and turning back to your creations and what really gets you excited, and then doing more of that, because that's going to create energy and momentum, and the more you're motivated, the more you're going to keep choosing it, and that's kind of, you gotta fall down and get back up, and hopefully you're not on the floor too long, because, I don't mean to laugh about it, I definitely have had my fair share of on the floor moments, but now I just try to make art on the floor, and try to make up for all those other times I've been crying on the floor in the fetal position throughout many decades of life, many times. It's not funny, right? If you're going through it, I don't mean to, I'm not making fun of that situation. I'm just making light of, it can be really hard, and it can be a struggle, and I definitely know that. So, but it's every little, recovery and movement out of ourselves, and then then putting it into the work, and then seeing the reflection back, and then seeing how it connects out, and having that experience and having it kind of come full circle. And these little moments really can take the sting of the rejection out, but of course it's not always easy, and that's why we need to be reminded that it's okay to allow ourselves the time and space, and to come back into being with ourselves, right? And to make amends with ourselves and our hearts, and open wider even after the break, and keep making the art, and use that emotion as a way in, and investigate what's possible in the process. Anyway, if you're struggling, I'm with you, and I just want to encourage you. Maybe that's not what you need now, but we all need different things at different points, places, and spaces in time. And but just know that there is that season for you, and it is possible, and we can always grow towards the light and fall forward, and sometimes on the floor though. But sometimes when you're on the floor, you look up and you get a different perspective, and you see what's up there that maybe you forgot. Anyway, this is one of those stripped down studio sessions, and I'm just gonna leave it here. So happy creating, happy Valentine's Day. Let's just keep going, because in the end, that's what we have. We gotta stay motivated somehow, and we can learn from each other, and share in these emotional aspects, and so we don't have to hide as much, because when you're hurt and then you hide more, it just hurts even more, and that's no fun, and that's not helpful. So we want to think about growing and healing and expanding and coming out into your art and life.